The Nebraska State Patrol says a 25-year-old South Dakota man has died as the result of one vehicle crash in Sheridan County over the past weekend. With KNOP's Panhandle Roundup, I'm Victoria Norgard. Our colleagues at KNEB report that Sheridan County requested assistance from the State Patrol late Saturday afternoon for a rollover accident along Highway 87 about 7 miles south of White Clay. Crash reconstructionists determined a northbound vehicle driven by Brian Blue Bird of Materson, South Dakota, left the roadway, attempted to drive back onto the road, but was unable to do so due to a steep ditch. Eventually rolling several times, the vehicle came to a rest upside and caught fire, eventually entirely burning before firefighters were able to put it out. The crash and related investigation closed the highway completely for more than 3 hours. The Sheridan County Sheriff's Office was assisted by the Rushville Fire Department and Ogallala Sioux tribal troopers in the case. And in courtroom news, a Panhandle woman has been found guilty of distributing meth. KNEB reports that Jenna Hara had been found guilty on 2 counts following 2021 Wing Drug Task Force investigation. The 36-year-old was convicted on 2 Class 2 felony charges of distribution of methamphetamine last week in Scottsbluff District Court. The Nebraska Crime Lab estimated a 16.7 grams of meth was sold. Harea faces 1 to 50 years in prison. A formal sentencing will be on September 6th. And Panhandle fire crews responded to a report of a possible structure fire along Cheyenne County Road 8 near Sidney yesterday morning. News Channel Nebraska reports that the fire threatened a shop at a family farm east of County Road 113 in the Sidney area. Firefighters put out a burning grass fire near a shop and a trailer that had caught fire as well. The cause of the fire remains unknown. No injuries were reported. Fire crews from Sidney, Potter, and Peets responded to the blaze. Now here's your Panhandle weather with meteorologist Andre Brooks.
Well, thank you so much, Victoria. And we are seeing a calm start to our Tuesday here. As we look at our current satellite radar at this time, we're looking at mainly sunny conditions. And I'm here to tell you, folks, our temperatures are so much better than what they have been. We're only in the 80s, and these temperatures really won't be climbing too much throughout the rest of the day due to a northerly flow around here. And we do have the potential of seeing some stronger storms later on today. I'm about to show you that in just a second. And we will see those temperatures in the 80s and maybe a few 90s here and there, low 90s mainly. And we will see the chances of some showers and thunderstorms, and some could even be on the strong to severe side, mainly in our southeastern counties where damaging winds and hail and locally heavy rainfall is a possibility, and that's going to continue into the day on Wednesday as well, with the same threats applying. So Victoria, it looks like the storminess continues around here.
Thank you, Andre. And the Nebraska Department of Transportation has noticed some alarming trends on the state's roadways. NDOT says in the last year, 2 workers have been killed and 1 has been injured in a work zone as a result of distracted driving. Director Vicki Kramer says all of those crashes involved distracted driving in areas that were marked as work zones. The department says distracted driving is a big issue and gets worse every day. Most recently, a worker was killed while directing traffic as crews patched potholes.
Driving is the most dangerous thing that you'll do today. Distracted driving does hurt people every single day. There's evidence of it. And so it's hard for me, with a family of my own, to understand why people would continuously put themselves and others at risk for a text.
In just the last month, 19 people were killed in crashes in the state. That's up from 17 in June of last year. Kramer also says that in Nebraska, about 80% of people killed in deadly crashes are not wearing a seatbelt. Not wearing your seatbelt in Nebraska is a second offense, which means you can only be cited for not wearing one if you're ticketed for something else first. And the bill introduced by Senator Deb Fischer that gives about 1,600 acres of land back to the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska was signed into law by President Biden on Monday. The bill passed unanimously in June. It concerns land that was illegally seized by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers back in the 70s. They were doing stabilization projects on the banks of the Missouri River. The deal gives administrative jurisdiction of that land from the Corps to the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Senator Fischer released a statement after it was signed saying, quote, "Our bill becoming law corrects a decades-old wrong." And now here's Panhandle Sports with KNOP Sports Director John Clanton.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. The 2024 class of the Scottsbluff High School Athletic Hall of Fame has been announced. Here's a look at the inductees. The class will be honored on October 18th at Scottsbluff High School and then honored at halftime of the Scottsbluff versus McCook football game. Congratulations to everyone on this list, and well deserved. And finally, Oregon Trail Days wrapping up out in Gering. One of the crown jewels of the event, the Don Childs Run. Overall winners were on the men's side, Brett Schoenhofer, and on the women's side, Gering native Sarah Vaughn. Here's a look at some of the event winners from a weekend full of fun, excitement, and parades. Once again, mud volleyball, a popular event, and for the first time, pickleball was part of the festivities, and I hear that tournament was exciting from start to finish. Always enjoy Oregon Trail Days. That's all from the Sports Desk. Everyone have a great rest of the day, and see ya!
Thank you, John. And on the heels of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump over the past weekend, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will receive Secret Service protection. According to U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, it comes at the direction of President Joe Biden as a result of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Kennedy's father, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, as well as his uncle, President John Kennedy, were assassinated less than 5 years apart. In a post shared to X, RFK Jr. thanked the president for granting him Secret Service protection. And Chicago police say they're well prepared to handle the upcoming Democratic National Convention next month, while the Secret Service will be in charge of securing the area. Chicago's police superintendent says they're monitoring the situation.
So we've had nearly a year to plan for those things. Now, again, if we get any additional intel, if we see things where we know we need to make adjustments or we need additional manpower, we will make those adjustments as soon as possible.
The superintendent also says his goal is to keep the convention, quote, as peaceful as possibly can. And lastly, bird flu is confirmed with 5 people working at a poultry farm in northeast Colorado. Health officials believe the workers caught the virus through direct contact with infected birds. They had mild symptoms like pink eye and respiratory problems, but none of them were hospitalized. Health officials said poultry products are still safe to eat as long as they've been properly handled and cooked. 13 states have now reported cases of bird flu in their dairy cattle. And that's all we have for now. Remember to join us weekdays for the Panhandle Roundup, covering the stories in the Panhandle that matter to you. Have a great day.